I think the next big thing in digital dentistry is likely to be things like augmented reality, such as facial scanning. There's new apps coming out doing digital smile design mock-ups directly onto 3D scans of patients and directly onto pictures of patients. And also things like augmented reality implant placement systems, which I know are just starting to come onto the market now, whereby it guides the implant placement through using augmented reality to show you where you're going based on a CT scan. So I think that's going to be big in the next few years.
I think to a large degree the future will be based around printing. I think there is new technology with printing, different types of printer, and probably more importantly a broader range of materials that will be available. For instance, if you mill dentures or you mill chrome cobalt, then it's very expensive in terms of wastage. However, if you print it, then you're only using the materials that are actually going into the product. So I think the different materials that are now coming onto the market for printing will be what changes, if you like, that part of the manufacturing process digitally.
Over the years we've seen lots of pieces of digital technology. Some have come and gone, you know, always the latest, greatest thing, and you can't get over the fact that you need to understand people and you need to understand dentistry and teeth. But perhaps the best piece of digital technology that I've come across now has been intraoral scanning and what we can do with that, and then also the design software that goes with that allows me to create beautiful smiles, get involved in the construction of restorations, and really just give our patients the results that they deserve.
From patients' point of view, I think digital impressions are a comfortable, easy way to have an impression taken. Most patients don't like to have an impression taken. It can be claustrophobic, people choke. I think there is a phobia of having impressions taken, but an intraoral scan is actually quite a pleasant way of getting that information. I think from the laboratory's point of view, from the dental technician's point of view, what you gain from digital manufacture is a consistency, whereby you can utilize the technology available with the computer to gain a better shaped product. You can look at things like articulation, so more dynamic occlusion can be set with the digital technology. But again, it brings us a broader range of materials. For instance, milling zirconia, which is a good, hard, strong product to form the framework, if you like, for some large span bridge work, is much more easy to work with, and you get much more passivity of fit than you perhaps ever would casting metal, which was the old technology.
I think patients notice the difference between traditional dentistry and digital dentistry a lot more with the intraoral scanner, simply because they don't have a mouthful of impression material, which people really don't like. I've had patients referred to me from other practices who have gag reflexes, who can't tolerate an impression, so they've actually been sent to me just to do a scan on them, because people know I've got the digital intraoral scanner. So, and then I've ended up making their restorative work or sending the models back, and then I've printed those and sent them back to the practice for the work to be done. So the benefits are huge in patient comfort, and people also notice the difference. You're doing things different to other practices, and they're very impressed to see the digital intraoral scans, be able to see, you know, what you can achieve with a full colour scan of someone's mouth. Looks very impressive, and the patients really like to see what's going on in their own mouth. And from a patient education perspective, I think it's hugely beneficial, because patients can see why you're suggesting the treatment you're suggesting, and because of that, uptake of treatment is increased. So for example, a patient who comes in with a crack in their tooth, and I can take a scan, take a photo, show them exactly in 3D, blown up on the screen, what their problem is with their tooth and why I'm suggesting the treatment I'm doing, and why it costs what it costs, rather than them just have to take my word for the fact that they need an £800 crown because you broke your tooth. They can see exactly what's going on with that tooth and know why we're recommending what we're recommending.
So the next big thing in digital dentistry is, we've been, first of all, as we start to move towards a digital world, we always sort of just try and recreate the analog world. What we're actually doing now is to see digital technology in itself and to find new and great ways of using that. So the creation of the virtual patient is incredible. For years we've been taking photographs of models and doing all those things, but now with face scans, and then being able to combine the face scan with the intraoral scan, with the CBCT scan, with jaw trackers and patient specific motion, we can actually have the patient there virtually, and that adds such a great deal to the results that we're able to achieve.
A big thing for the future will be digital face bow transfer and registration of temporomandibular joints. I think also facial scanning in dentistry for use with digital smile design and digital mock-ups will be a really big thing as well.
I think probably the best way for a dentist to have a look to start with is really either to go to one of the dental shows, of which there are a number through the year. At least at that they can have a look round without spending any major time or money. Most of the manufacturers are at the shows and are more than happy to spend some time explaining the benefits of their system.
When one of the partners in the practice was looking to get his, I said to him, it's not a case of whether you can afford it, it's a case whether at this point in your career you can afford not to get into it, because to be entirely honest with you, it makes your working day easier and it makes your revenue increase.